Okay, Glenell. Actually, I just remembered, and gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I've been calling you by the name that is in the LMS as Glenell, and I remember that you had requested to be called Renee. I'm so sorry. I mean, I think the best way to do that is just sign off, just like you have to. Sign off on your discussion boards and your posts as Renee, and that'll remind us all that you prefer to be called Renee as opposed to Glenell. So, yeah, and I apologize for that. At any rate, no disrespect intended. I should have remembered to call you by your preferred name. So, all right, thank you so much for the videos. Of course, absolutely. I'm so glad to hear they're valuable to you and that you're learning. So, good job right here describing your methodology here. Just wanted to double check to make sure there's no questions. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple of things. I'm going to jump right over to the end. I think there's a couple of things here that are problematic. And I think that if you jump over to you know what, I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to jump over to the course announcements because I really want you to take a look at those examples. And they provide such a wonderful um, example of really good page mechanics and page layout for the magazine ad. Here they are right here, back in examples of the magazine web banner ad. So if you just go through and take a look at how these are set up, and then basically it's headline, subhead, body copy, masked image, contact information, and logo. And we can see this combination works out very well. So, and this one's a little different, and it has the contact information across the top at the end, which is perfectly fine. So the reason I bring this up is because we look at your ad and we see this headline is really, really long. Now note the hierarchy associated with all of these and think of a newspaper. The headline is usually the largest on the page, type on the page, followed by the subhead. And that's all followed by body copy. So the headline's largest, next largest is subhead, and then the next largest, and then the smallest would be the body copy. So right here we've got the headline here is, the subhead is as big, if not bigger, than the headline. So that we're a little bit mixed up here in hierarchy. So what I would recommend is don't use such a long headline. Shorten that up, okay, considerably. 5, 6 words tops, okay, and then set up your headline in Arial bold. And then don't forget your headline is set up in Arial bold italic, okay? So you have, and then don't forget, headline should just be a couple of words. Subhead should just be a couple words, just a hint at what's coming up. Then we do the body copy. So we take a paragraph of body copy and we go ahead and compile that, giving all the information. All of this information can be included in the body copy. So we have headline, then left align, subhead, Arial bold for headline, Arial bold italic for subhead. And then over here, I would left align this and I would add a little bit of information in this. So we have headline, subhead, then a little paragraph, watch my cursor, little paragraph of body copy right here, okay? Then down at the bottom here, we've got some issues, and I think the main issue is the fact that we've got some severe distortions going on here. The logo is definitely distorted, and I'm going to open up the logo so you can see what it really looks like. And while this is opening, so you use the purple logo, so there's the purple logo, right? And let's go ahead and pull those apart. So here's the purple logo, and then take a look at your logo in comparison to the way it should look in the style guide. I think it's really obvious that there's some very, very severe differences. And we also see distortions in the chairs. Now, this happened because you resized them once you placed them in Illustrator. So in other words, what you did is you placed your logo in Illustrator and then you resized it. So what you did is probably grab the corner bounding box with your mouse, hold your mouse key down and stretch that to make it bigger. The problem is that you didn't constrain the original proportions, so it became distorted. What you want to do is you select that area to resize it. Hold your shift key down when you drag that corner bounding box to resize it. That'll constrain the proportions and it will prevent this kind of distortion. Same thing with the lounge chairs. You want to do the exact same thing with the lounge chairs is go ahead and resize those after you place them. And when you do, hold that shift key down. Once that is resized, the logo, watch my cursor, should be about this big. Okay, place it in the lower right-hand corner and then move your contact information into the lower left-hand corner. So those are my recommendations for improvements. So go ahead and make those changes and be sure you reflect those in our final ad, which is coming up during week 7 here. And if you want to run this by me before you submit your final ad, please do. You can submit it right here. You can email it to me or post it in the general questions area of the discussion board. Whatever is most convenient for you, I'll be sure to see it and provide final comments. But you want to wrap up the magazine ad before you start the banner ad because you're going to be using the magazine ad to compile the banner ad. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, okay, so and the most important thing at this point is to get with me quickly if you have any questions at all. All right, great start. Thank you so much for sharing.